welcome to Sideshow Live. Yay! We're still clapping for ourselves. That's still a thing. We have such a great show for you guys today. We're showing you a lot of first looks, unboxing something that no one has seen yet, really, except, you know, the people at Hot Toys who made it. And we have a very special guest in studio right now, Ryan Meinerding from Marvel Studios. Oh my gosh, he's here to talk Black Panther and the Black Panther fine art print that he made. It's his art. So this is such an exciting show to have like right now. So I just like kind of want to get it going. We have a lot of people in the studio right now. We have Kitty in the chats. We have John Wick in the chats. We have Dave Igo who's off camera. So you can expect to hear some, yeah.
I'm trying not to.
Come on. He's going to try not to for like 2 minutes and then it's going to just start. Anyway, of course, we're going to have a Q&A at the Ryan segment because that's who you guys all want to ask questions to. Yes? Yes? Yeah. See? That's what I'm looking for, the excitement, because I'm really, really excited. We're all big fans of Ryan and his work, so to have him in studio is just so cool. So let's get to it. We have our featured collector, which threw everybody off today because his name is Jim Henson. So congratulations to Jim. Thank you for sharing your awesome collection with us. What is Jim have?
Skeletor.
Yeah, see, of course.
Skeletor.
Godzilla.
The space jockey in the cat.
That's amazing.
Like Godzilla, like a Terminator.
R2 6-Go.
So in my head, though, they're all Muppet versions. I know that they're not, but in my head, you say Jim Henson and it's like the Muppet R2. Yeah. Anyway.
I want Muppet Skeletor.
Muppet Skeletor would be epic. I would love that. So thank you, Jim, for sharing your collection with us. If you would like to be our featured collector, you can head on over to sideshow.com/blog and click the Apply Now button. If you are selected, we love seeing all types of collections, like any kind, pop culture, you know, just any little niche of it, and we will feature it here on the live show and then in our blog. So thank you guys for all your submissions. That's amazing. So very briefly, well, not very briefly, there's a lot of news that has been happening. The Game of Thrones producers are now going to make their very own Star Wars trilogy. That's woo! So I was going to say, if Dave doesn't have anything to say about that, I don't know this man at all. That's really amazing. Like just their storytelling ability, that's great right there. Yep. The Brit is dancing behind camera, so I started going like this, and I'm sure this is going to be a GIF like later because that always happens. Michael Fassbender has signed on for an unknown role in Kung Fury 2.
That's amazing.
That's so cool. I feel like so much news has happened this week, but the biggest thing for us in the office right now is we all just can't wait for Friday because, well, tomorrow for most of us, because most of us already have our Black Panther tickets. We got them the second they went on sale, and we are so excited for Black Panther to be released that that's all anybody's talking about in the Sideshow offices today and forever. So, yay, Black Panther on Friday! We'll talk more about Black Panther later when Ryan comes on. So first we have a short video to show you, and then when we come back, we will be taking a look at the Yoda Legendary Scale Figure. You're watching Sideshow Live, and we will be right back. Welcome back. I was watching the comments during the video, and yes, it is kind of like dressing a small child. That was the Stormtrooper Legendary Scale Figure, and this is the Yoda Legendary Scale Figure. These are half-scale pieces, so you do actually have to dress them like they are kind of miniature versions of the characters. So, oh my gosh, he's so cute. Isn't he cute? I just think he's cute. This is Yoda. What? He's cute. This is Yoda based on his first appearance in Empire Strikes Back. You can tell from the Dagobah-themed base. Yes, yes. Once again, it has one of my favorite sculpting effects, which is the water effect, or in this case, the swamp effect. Yeah, I love it. It's so neat. And then there's a little firefly. Or no, dragonfly. Dragonfly. Yes.
That's what we did there, though. A little nerd drop, right? Firefly.
Yes, I totally meant to do that. So, like I said before, this legendary scale figure is a half scale, and he has a fabric costume and non-sculpt hair. So this is all hair. See?
Synthetic.
Synthetic hair. It's not real Yoda hair. We have to call him that because he doesn't actually have a species on record that we can find. I'm staring at you, Challenger. He's not contributing. All right, fair. There is no exclusive to this figure. You get him just like you see him right here, and he goes on our website for pre-order tomorrow, sometime between noon and 3 p.m. So if you would like to RSVP to be the first to know when Yoda is available for pre-order, you are going to want to go to sideshow.com/Jedi Master. That's sideshow.com/Jedi Master. Now my notes say he's about 18 inches tall from base to the top, so let's just check that out. Oh wow, yes, he is. The notes I feel like are getting a lot more accurate because they know I have a tape measure to like, But yes, he is 18 inches tall for all of you asking. And then again, this is the prototype, so I have to be very careful. So we're gonna approximate the depth of the figure, which looks to be about 12 and a half to somewhere 12 3/4 inches.
We changed our terminology yesterday.
Officially?
Yeah.
So it's officially the IGO depth?
It's depth now, it's not length.
Oh,
really
there you go.
Yeah.
It's officially the IGO depth.
Don't call it that, but sure.
So there you go, the Yoda Legendary Scale Figure, again, available for pre-order tomorrow between noon and 3 p.m. at sideshow.com/Jedi Master. We have another video to show you, and when we come back, we will be taking a look at Mumm-Ra. You're watching Sideshow Live. We will be right back. Mumm-Ra. Kitty just told me that she watched a 7-minute video of all of like Mumm-Ra yelling, so, and she made it to the end. So isn't that?
It was for important research.
It was for research on the Mumm-Ra character, and I think that like if you watch a 7-minute video of him yelling, you're pretty much an expert on Mumm-Ra at that point. Yes, yes. What?
Was he yelling at his dog?
Was he yelling at the
Mumm-Mutt.
dog? Mumm-Mutt? That's its real name?
Yeah, I thought you knew.
I didn't know. I don't know everything. I didn't know that Mumm-Mutt is a thing. That's very difficult to say.
Mumm-Ra yelling is one of the best parts of the open.
Oh yeah.
So,
I remember Mumm-Ra yelling. I just didn't remember the dog's name is Mumm-Mutt. See, Mumm-Ra just brings chaos wherever he goes. This is the first in our Thundercat statue line. We showed you him for the first time during the 12 days of Sideshow. He is a mixed media piece and he has a fabric headdress, cape, and skirt. So here, these are wired, yeah?
Yes.
Wow. So they're not called ribbons. Are they ribbons?
Tassels?
Tassels?
Yeah.
His headdress. The cape is also wired, and he has metal chains that connect his belt. So he's all kinds of mixed media right there. The exclusive edition we are showing you right now is his right hand holding the sword Plundar.
Sword of Plundar.
Sword of Plundar. There's a very crucial conjunction missing in my notes. This is amazing. He also goes available for pre-order tomorrow. I was also told that the animals on the base match the design of his skirt. So those animals appear.
The 4 gods.
The 4 gods.
Spirits of evil.
The ancient spirits of evil. I need to brush up on my Thundercats knowledge. I remember the good guys. I don't know. It's like how I mostly remember She-Ra more than I remember He-Man. But anyway, just need to brush up on all my 80s nostalgia.
Not a good guy.
What?
It doesn't-
Shh. Be quiet, British man. Like I said, Mumm-Ra will be available for pre-order tomorrow. We are showing you, we are showing you the exclusive edition right now. Head on over to sideshow.com/Mumm-Ra to RSVP to be the first to know when he goes available for pre-order. There is also a giveaway on our site to win your own pre-order of Mumm-Ra. So that is very, very exciting. Is Mumm-Ra in scale with the Masters of the Universe statues? Jason Todd would like to know.
Yup.
Yup, he is.
He's a big fit scale though, because he's bigger. He grows.
Yeah,
You know? So
Mumm-Ra
he's
is bigger.
He's like a half head or head taller than He-Man and stuff. I think ish plus one. I want to confirm that.
That's really
but,
cool. We'll confirm that for you,
plus
but
or
so
minus.
far, Igo says that they are in scale.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a snarf. It is not Pumbaa on the base, it is one of the gods. So there you go. Once again, available for pre-order tomorrow, sometime between noon and 3 p.m. RSVP at sideshow.com/Mumm-Ra. And we are going to show you another video. And when we come back, we will have special guest Ryan Meinerding to talk about the Black Panther fine art print and answer questions you guys might have. So you're watching Sideshow Live, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Sideshow Live. Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
How are you?
That's very kind. Wow. Thank you.
This is Ryan Meinerding, and I think you work for...
I work for Marvel Studios.
And you are...
Head of Visual Development.
Yes. So everything you see comes from this man.
Well, I have a team of very
yes.
amazing artists, and there's a lot of other people that go into making these movies amazing. But
Yes, but you're here right now.
I'm here right
That's
now.
awesome.
Thank you.
And you're here to talk about the Black Panther fine art print
Yes,
that
I
you
did.
did with us.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Tell us a little bit about the concept behind this print.
Sure. I mean, occasionally we get to do sort of promotional pieces for the movies, and they're usually released at San Diego Comic-Con. So with this one, it was trying to capture a bit of the sci-fi feel of the film, as well as the sort of tribal, component that goes into it, which is
You did it.
a lot of the aesthetic of that movie is sort of the sci-fi mixed with sort of African tribal inspiration. So some of the Wakanda print mixed in there, which actually says warrior and king. which
Wow.
is a fun, I guess, thing. I
Oh,
guess.
cool. Sorry, I just blocked the print. Like, he's like telling these cool things about it, and I just like threw my back right against it. Wow, that's so cool.
And I was always inspired by Drew Struzan's poster work. I mean, I think everybody is, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's trying to do something that's as cool as what he did for all the movies that we love. But yeah, doing Chadwick's likeness was awesome, and trying to get the Dormalaji in there too, Okoye and Nakia. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. So tell us, to go kind of broad in the questioning here, tell us a little bit about how the Marvel visual development team began and what exactly your job encompasses there.
Sure. So a person like me in the film business would usually work under a production designer or a costume designer. On the first Iron Man movie, Adi Granoff and Phil Saunders and I were lucky enough to be working for Jon Favreau. And Jon Favreau loves working directly with artists, so we got to actually be doing designs for Iron Man and Ironmonger.
So you were there right from the beginning. Like
Yeah.
10 years now.
12.
12.
12. Because
because
the 10-year anniversary is from the release of
Yes,
Iron
but
Man 1, but we had
it
to
takes
actually
a while to make
the
a
movie.
That's true. Yeah.
So our group kind of started back then with Adi and Phil and I working directly with the directors, and then the producers at Marvel sort of saw value in that and wanted to keep having artists around that were fans of the comics and fans of the characters. So I transitioned on to Iron Man 2 and worked with Adi again, and eventually got to a point where we had to hire more people, and I brought in Charlie Wen, and we sort of started a team together on Avengers.
Wow.
Charlie and I did Thor and Captain America together, the origin movies for those characters, and then on Avengers there were just too many characters. We needed to hire more people, and we hired Andy Park and Rodney Fuentebella and Jackson C, and then eventually hired Anthony Francisco and Adam Ross as well. But yeah, so we've got a team of really talented artists.
Yeah, I was like, so many names just happened right now. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, and I don't know. It's a really fun, amazing opportunity because all of the artists really love the characters, get to work directly under the producers and directors, come up with ideas. Essentially, they'll come to us sort of early, maybe like 8 months before the movie shoots, and give us an outline or a feeling of what versions of the characters from the comics they're looking for, and we'll just get to work doing drawings, and we'll do presentations. The directors and producers will look at them and say, we kind of like this, we don't like this, or we don't like any of them, start over. Usually it's down to we like this, combine them a little bit and sort of move forward from there until we get a finished sort of approved design. And then that either goes off into visual effects or it goes off to the costume departments, where the amazing costume designers and their teams bring the characters to life.
That's so cool. Now you said that you guys have to reference a lot of comics. You have a vast history of Marvel comics to work with. Were you familiar with the comics of these characters before working at Marvel?
Oh, totally. I mean, I grew up. I mean, I think the things that I got into comic characters probably through Spider-Man when I was a kid. I think that's probably most kids' like gateway comic book character.
Yeah.
Like
everybody has one, and I think we all can name ours in here.
I mean, I was watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends when I was a kid, and eventually that transitioned into going to comic book stores with my brother when I was a kid, buying X-Men and Wolverine, and then eventually getting into Captain America. And I think it was all around the time of Infinity Gauntlet and Todd McFarlane really working on Spider-Man 2. So I don't know. I was a huge fan. I think most of the guys we have working for us were huge fans of one of the characters.
That's amazing. So how do you take that fandom and that legacy of Marvel Comics and make something new for a new audience? I know that's a very like broad question, but still, like what's your thought process when approaching that?
Well, like on a character like Black Panther for Civil War, I got to do the design for Civil War for Black Panther.
It's so slick.
Oh, cool.
Like he looks so great.
Thanks.
It's the second he showed up, I think everyone just kind of gasped. Yeah.
Right on. That's awesome. We always go back to the comics and try and look and see what inspiration can we take. And a lot of times the directors and producers will have very specific reference they want us to look at. I was always just looking at a lot of the Jack Kirby stuff from way back in the day. So it was a very simple silhouette and very powerful silhouette. Mm-hmm. Very very simple, clean, powerful silhouette.
Absolutely.
And I tried to get that into the design for Civil War, as well as add a lot of the hopefully sci-fi feel to it, but the main sort of design theme was this idea of weaving. Like the whole suit was going to be woven together and through a means that we wouldn't really understand. So if you look at that suit, it has a lot of layers to it. It looks like it's actually held together through like sort of tribal weaving.
That's amazing.
When Ryan Coogler started on Black Panther, he was looking to try and reference the Brian Steelfreeze run of comics, which is more of a singular skin, you know, is made of nanotechnology, is much higher tech than what we were trying to do in Civil War. And a lot of the elements of the mask also came from that Steelfreeze run, where it's the mask has more of like an actual panther face mixed with a man's face, or it's not necessarily directly sort of just like a comic, like a cool comic look. It's actually meant to be like a mix of a man and a panther.
Wow. That's awesome. I'm going to have to look for that when we see the movie. So JJ Joe's asking, do you get to visit sets when you, like during filming?
I can. We're so busy that I usually don't have time to get away. No, it's hard. It's really hard.
Have you been able to visit any of the sets?
Yes. I mean, I was around a lot on Iron Man 1, on Iron Man 2. I think I missed all the Avengers, all of Captain America. A lot of times one of the things, we're so busy. Once our part of a production is finished, they're starting to shoot. They're starting to move on to visual effects. Everybody's still really busy. We're just starting the next project. So because we're sort of the first line of people that are working on the films and sort of the first set of inspiration where directors and producers can get going on the visuals. We just can't find time to go to set as often. I did to go to set on Infinity War, which is great.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's awesome. I was going to ask about that. So you kind of touched on this with your answer there, but what does the timeline look like for you in terms of, but like how far out? You mentioned that you started Iron Man 2 years before it was ever in theaters. So is that the standard timeline, or is it different with every project? Every project
is a little different. Sometimes they're looking at the producers are looking at trying to understand what a production can be to sort of talk to directors about it. So occasionally we get to work on, like I worked on Captain America and Thor. About a year and a half before they actually got going in pre-production.
Oh wow!
But those are very rare cases. Most of the time we kind of get brought onto a project probably about 8 months before it starts shooting, and sort of have, between 2 and 3 months to really nail down the look of the main characters.
So Terrell Reed along these lines wants to know which character was your favorite to design.
I wish I had a really simple answer to that question. I've gotten to design a lot of characters that are my favorites.
Did you get to design Spider-Man?
I did get to design Spider-Man.
How did that feel?
No, that was a highlight. Frankly, I never thought I was going to get to work on Spider-Man, and it's going to be one of the greatest things that, for me, like the greatest opportunities in my career, just because I always loved a John Romita Sr. head.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to try and find a way of getting that into the comics, and I think it's just a harder sell, the big black border, so like the idea of coming up with the emotive eyes to try and make that.
That was amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, no, yeah. I was excited. Honestly, I just wanted to get the John Romita head, and the emotive eyes were a way to get there. And I was like, okay, let's try and pitch this, and they liked it, so it was great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a big Spider-Man fan too, and that's by far my favorite design of the character.
I think I screamed the first time I saw that.
Oh yeah, oh my God, his eyes! Anyway, I think a question's coming in from Facebook.
Yes, and kind of on that line, Ryan Burns on Facebook wants to know: is there a character that was really hard to translate from comics because of their over-the-top design into a practical movie application?
I mean, Captain America is a challenging one. Luckily, the way that story was told. That was one of the great things about working in Marvel Studios movies is the silliness of the costumes are usually explained in a very like concrete, interesting way to say
Star-Spangled Man with a Plan.
Exactly. Like they find a way to make the silliness actually endearing and charming in the film, and then become a symbol for something. So if he's a symbol of American patriotism and he hates trying to be that person, and then when he puts on the rescue costume and goes out to rescue Bucky. He hides it with a leather jacket and a helmet, but then that coat gets ripped to shreds. And you can see the star sort of poking through more. And then when he gets to design his own costume, the idea of combining those two things, visual storytelling through character design is what I love to do. And when you have that amount of really amazing material to work with, it's already baked into the script. Doing the visuals is just a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Wow. So we have a lot of fan questions coming in right now. Do you have a favorite scene that has played out kind of exactly the way you wanted to on film?
Working on Iron Man was a lot of fun. If you're asking about favorite characters, I want to get back to this. The Mark 1 is going to be kind of my favorite, also just because it was the first design I had really ever done for a film that got into a movie, and he's one of my favorites. But going back to that movie, the scene in the garage was a lot of where Tony's building the Mark 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Jon Favreau actually, he asked me to just come up with ideas for what he could be doing because they didn't have it really fleshed out in the script, and I got to just pitch that he's testing the boots, and he's just got the boots on, and he's like hovering and sort of wobbly, and it turned into that
amazing montage of like all the.
Which I can't take credit for the sequence because it's amazing and all the stuff that he does, but just the initial kernel of that was really exciting to work on.
Someone's asking if you were in the 10-year anniversary photo, and you are.
I am.
Because we found you. Yeah, you're pulling it up right now. It's on the screen right now. He is there.
I am there. I was very fortunate to be there.
Oh my God, how did it feel to be in that room? This is just my question.
It was really amazing. I'm not the most outgoing guy, so I'm also was sort of like the only guy that didn't have someone to talk to in that room because there's so many amazing stars and celebrities and directors and producers. So I was doing my best to like not just look like I'm
like, hey,
sitting in the corner smiling. You know.
Kitty and I sit next to each other in the office, and she and I like were legit tearing up over watching the video of everybody getting into place and like how awesome it is that something that so many people love has been brought to life in such an amazing way. Like from Iron Man, like Iron Man is one of those moments where I think everybody in the room knows the moment where they were like in Iron Man. Yeah. For me, it was the Mark 1, like coming out of that cave. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, being part of that was a tremendous honor. I'm very excited and sort of incredibly grateful that I got an invite to that thing.
That's amazing. So we're also being asked, what is the biggest challenge you ever faced bringing a character? I guess this is very similar to the costume, but maybe this is an overall like story point, and how did you overcome it?
One of the hardest characters for me to do, just because it wasn't particularly in my skill set, was working on the Hulk. Redesigning the Hulk for Avengers 1 was, I don't know if I would say this is the biggest challenge, but it was sort of the hardest for me because I had to learn ZBrush in order to do even to get anything approved, because designing the Hulk, you not only have to design like his body and the head.
His costume is him.
Yeah, but you also have to figure out the expressions and like sell the idea of a Hulk looking like Mark Ruffalo. So I had to do a sculpt that not only sort of looked like the Hulk, but looked like Mark Ruffalo, but also had like multiple expressions on it, which at the time was way out of my skill set. So it was a tremendous challenge, but I was very happy that I got to work on it. And the design, once it gets to visual effects, like I didn't turn in a model that was ready to go on screen. The visual effects houses really made it come to life and made it feel real and more like Mark, but I'm very proud of what I was able to turn in to get it approved initially.
So when you started working out for reference too, or
you're like gotta Hulk up.
What does the Hulk look like?
Probably like
I started working out on Iron Man 2 because I was so stressed out. That was I had no other way of dealing with the stress. I was like, there's too much to do. I don't have time. I gotta get in shape. But all of that is gone now. I haven't worked out in a long time.
Well,
really?
You can't.
No, he's just too busy, man. 3 movies a year.
Oh my gosh. So we've been asked, do you prefer working in digital media or traditional?
I'm pretty much all digital now, between the stuff you can do in 3D, which is amazing, and for most of my work is done in Photoshop, just a digital painting. I might do just like thumbnail sketches to figure out rough ideas, but mostly Photoshop.
Nice.
Michael Lampkin on Facebook wants to know, did you have a hand in designing the Hulkbuster in Age of Ultron?
I did work on the Hulkbuster, but my design was not chosen for that. Josh Nizzi actually did the awesome final design for that.
Yeah, we're excited to see that back. I think everyone went, Hulkbuster's back.
Fun random bit too. Ryan and I were talking earlier because Josh has worked with us on a couple things, and he helped design our Voltron maquette. So
oh, really?
The guy who designed Hulkbuster designed our Voltron maquette. So
wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, he's a super talented guy.
Yeah. So speaking of design, the design helmets in the art of Black Panther, someone's asking, in that book, there are so many different designs. How did you go with the one that you went with?
Again, Ryan Coogler had really specific notions of how he wanted the mask to represent what Brian Stelfreeze had done in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So Adi Granoff actually designed the Panther suit and the helmet for the Black Panther movie. And I think what Ryan was going for was just sort of a more sleek, like singular, like look to it. The helmet from the Civil War suit
Mm-hmm.
was actually a separate piece. It was meant to look like a suit and a helmet, and Ryan really wanted it to look like this was more of like an actual mask that was part of the costume, more like a Spider-Man costume as opposed to like a helmet and a separate costume. But I think I think Ryan was just going for that sort of look of a more of a Panther face in the mask as opposed to being like the classic comic version.
Cool. And who are you excited to do in the future that you can talk about, obviously?
I mean, any chance I get to work on more Spider-Man stuff, I'm super excited about. Look, my job is, I'm very fortunate. I've worked very hard for Marvel. I'd like to think of myself as being part of one of the people that helped make the place good.
Yeah, I'd say that's the case.
But in terms of the future, I'm just excited to keep working, keep doing the job that I'm already doing because there's so many fun, cool things.
That's awesome.
James Lewis wants to know, do you collect any figures or statues?
I do collect a lot of Marvel figures and statues.
Do you have a favorite?
Do I have a favorite?
We ask everybody that.
I mean, honestly, it's probably the Mark I. The Mark I hot toy. I'm a huge fan of that. I did work on the Hulk maquette that you guys did with Legacy. I
wow!
helped sculpt the head on that. Was like part of the head design that I did. So I'm a huge fan of that one. But that's a little bit like self-serving to say I like the one that I worked on. But
yeah, for sure.
yeah, I mean, I buy as many of the hot toys as I can afford, which is challenging sometimes.
Yeah, I think there's like a new one every week. That brand new Black Panther that they just dropped was like,
oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Do you have our Mark I?
I do not have your Mark I.
What? The Mark I maquette?
That was a long time ago. That was, yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
I want to do a new Mark I maquette, so if you want to help design one,
I'll-
let's put it on the side.
Anytime.
I would love to help, but you guys would do a fantastic job without me. I'd be happy to buy that one.
And as far as Marvel goes, are you involved just in the movies, or do you have a hand in like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or the Netflix shows? Or anything?
For the most part, I don't really have anything to do with the TV shows except for Daredevil. I worked on the Daredevil design.
For the costume?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's an amazing costume design.
Oh, awesome.
It's so good.
Nice.
It's so practical, but at the same time, like, so reminiscent of all Daredevil comics. Like,
right
so
on.
great.
Yeah,
Love
I mean,
it.
I did the design for the first season, and I worked on helping fix the helmet for the second season, and then Joshua James Shaw did more work on the costume to work it out for the second season.
That's amazing. I love that. Do you have any more questions coming from Facebook?
Yeah, Danny Dozier wants to know if you could work on any character. He didn't specify Marvel or not, so I'm guessing any character.
Any character.
Any character you haven't worked on, who would it be?
Any character I haven't worked on.
Yeah, like, He-Man, Thundercats, or like anything.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
anything
right.
random. Like Star Wars characters.
Like Disney bought everything, so now you can work on whatever
Yeah.
you want. It's safe to,
Jeez, what would it be? I love G.I. Joe. I would love to do like a Snake Eyes.
Ooh. I
Snake Eyes and
instantly
Storm
went to
Shadow.
Baroness and was like, you did Baroness. That'd be rad too. Anyway,
I mean,
now
there's
I'm
so
projecting.
many great characters, and I think we all grew up with so many characters in the '80s from the TV shows, but also other comic companies. Like, I'd love to do a Turtles design too. It'd be so fun.
You just won his heart if you didn't already have it. So let's get back to really quickly to the Black Panther fine art, and we're really excited to be releasing this as part of our Marvel Cinematic Universe collection. So it is, I'm going to just read off some stats really quickly. It is a limited edition of 250 pieces only, and it is a 18 by 24 fine art giclée print, and it is hand signed by this guy right here. head of Marvel Visual Development, Ryan Meinerding. It has an embossed seal of authenticity, and the framed version will be available this Friday between noon and 3 p.m. on February 16th. In case you guys are confused about that, it's the same day Black Panther comes out. So there you go. If supplies last, which it is only 250 pieces, so if supplies last, it will be available unframed for pre-order on Monday, February 19th between noon and 3 p.m. So if you would like to RSVP to be the first to be notified, go to sideshow.com/pantherprint. Heads up, there's also a giveaway on that same RSVP page, sideshow.com/pantherprint, so you can enter for your chance to win a framed version of this amazing piece. So the art you mentioned was very inspired by Drew Struzan. Can you tell us a little bit about like the debut of it and like the themes behind it? I know you said this a little bit earlier, but just to kind of bring it back around, like the themes of the print, there's a ship at the corner, and what other little touches make this print specifically your design?
Oh.
And you're like, well, that's a very specific question.
Well, no, I mean, I usually spend most of my day doing character design and sort of keyframe art for film. So doing a poster design is just a fun sort of treat for me. So I don't necessarily have a poster design style. I'm really just excited to be doing one. that sounds silly. But I think, you know, for me, one of the cooler parts about doing superhero stuff is, like I said, the costumes usually mean something. And the idea of T'Challa's costume and his mask being like a symbol of his kingship. So the idea of putting T'Challa on a poster with, as well as having the Panther mask and as well as having Wakanda in the background and the Royal Talon fighter landing, like it all just, I don't know,
it just comes together.
I mean, that's always the interesting thing for me is focusing on the characters, finding ways of making their visuals feel interesting and unique. And with T'Challa, it's all about being a king.
Did you go to the premiere? Oh, I mean,
I did go to the premiere. Yeah.
What was the coolest part about it? It looked so amazing.
Everything was amazing. It's probably one of the largest fanfares I think I've been to at a premiere.
It was the coolest, like, red or purple carpet I've ever seen. It was
incredible. All the design, like all the Panther statues everywhere, the different outfits everyone was wearing was really compelling and cool. I mean, it's fun to have been part of a really important movie, and I'm excited. I was just excited to be there. I mean, any part of a premiere is really just the amount of excitement you have for just being able to be there with everyone and share like the excitement of it all.
That's so cool. Thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Oh, thank you.
We're so excited to have you. Thank you again. And you guys, once again, if you want to RSVP for the Black Panther fine art print behind us, that is sideshow.com/pantherprint. We're about to look at another video, and when we come back, we'll be unboxing Leia. You're watching Sideshow Live. Thank you so much once again, and we will be right back.
Thanks.
Welcome back to Sideshow Live. Oh my God, how great was Ryan? Oh, thank you so much once again for coming in and answering all our questions. Now to unbox this Princess Leia 6-scale figure. Oh my gosh, we're so excited. This is actually, Hot Toys was kind enough to send us an advanced sample of the Princess Leia from Hoth 6-scale figure. So we are going to unbox it for you guys right now. Let's just get to it. This is Princess Leia from Empire Strikes Back, because that's where Hoth is. It's in that movie. Just saying, for those of you who are confused. Oh my gosh, this is advanced sample. There we go. Oh, box art. Oh. I'm going to try really hard not to cry because this piece is so beautiful. Hot Toys did such an amazing job with her. And the likeness of Carrie Fisher. Here we go. Here we go. So, while I unbox, her costuming, I can already tell, is perfect. Don't forget that Hot Toys figures come with instructions at the bottom of the box, right here. They show you range of motion and things like that, so that way you don't just, you know, open the box and snap off an arm. Please pay attention to the instructions. Oh. There are, her hair has the little curlies. So that's the official title. So be sure to be careful around them when you're removing the plastic. And Leia. I can almost hear her screaming, she'd just as soon kiss a Wookiee. So she stands very well on her own, but she also comes with a Hoth-themed base. Let's get this. Sorry for the noise. Has a plaque that says Princess Leia on it. These bases are always a little difficult to get together, but I'm trying not to. There we go. Oh my gosh. She does stand very well on her own. The boots help.
Matt Hodge says, I love you, Hot Toys. I know.
I know. Oh. Now, of all the versions of Princess Leia, this is a definite fan favorite in the Hoth outfit. You see her kind of commanding that base during the evacuation, and just this is just classic. It's the classic braids. It's the classic white. It's just another version of Leia that we all know and love. Now this Hot Toys piece has 28 points of articulation, 8 pieces of interchangeable hands, including 1 pair of relaxed hands, 1 pair of wielding torch right hand. Wielding torch right hand. What does that mean? What is a wielding torch? Welding torch. Ah, reading things incorrectly. That's a problem. Anyway, she has a pair of blaster holding gloved hands, 3 accessory holding gloved right hands, 1 sophisticated tailored off-white jumpsuit, 1 pair of gray boots, 1 vest, 1 blaster pistol. It's a really cool blaster pistol. Pew, 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 pew. 1 blaster pistol, a pair of safety goggles. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Safety goggles. I just got really excited because her breathing from the Myanox and inside the slug, the breathing mask is there. As is the welding torch. So she can wield her welding torch. There you go. I brought it back around and made it okay. So this has a specially designed Hoth-themed base, and she is shipping very soon. So you can still pre-order her at sideshow.com/HothPrincess. That's sideshow.com/HothPrincess. She is our princess, forever our princess.
Ryan Burns wants to know, are there any light up or sound functions?
There are no light up or sound functions on her. She is amazing on her own. Unless you just go, pew, 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 which we all do. That's how that works. So we have unboxed Hoth Leia. It is amazing. And thank you so much to Hot Toys for sending us this advanced sample and getting it on our show so we could unbox her live for you guys. Wow, we had such a great show. First off, before I wrap things up, we have to announce a winner from last week. The Alex Ross Spider-Man Trouble in San Francisco Fine Art Print winner is Robert Kwok from the U.S. Yay, Robert! Congratulations for winning that amazing print signed by Alex Ross. We had such a great show today. We featured the Yoda Legendary Scale Figure. We featured the Mumm-Ra Statue was in the house. We even had an unboxing of this Hot Toys Princess Leia that nobody has seen before. Well, you guys know what I mean. No one has unboxed it on this show yet. So yeah, anyway. And she's about to ship, so sideshow.com/HothPrincess. And of course, we had the ever amazing Ryan Meinerding on the show. Thank you so much for being here to talk about the Black Panther Fine Art Print and to answer all of our questions about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We cannot wait to see Black Panther. And remember to keep getting notified about when we go live. Just go to sideshow.com/notify to learn all the ways that you can get notified. I can just keep saying that over and over again until you guys do it. Sideshow.com/notify, and you'll know when we go live. So again, thank you. We can't thank you enough, Ryan, for being on the show with us. Thank you to Hot Toys for sending us the advanced sample, and thank you all for watching us. And don't forget to let your geek side show. Woo! Head on over to Instagram for the after party.
Hey everyone, welcome back to How to Be a Poser. Today we're accessorizing. I'm going to show you how you can use your figure's diverse array of accessories to help it really stand out in a crowd. To do that, we're going to be using the Hot Toys Iron Man Mark 46 die-cast 6-scale figure from Captain America Civil War. Let's get started. Alright, here's the Mark 46 die-cast, still in its box exactly as it's going to come to you. Comes with a wide range of accessories, including the stellar portrait of Tony Stark, a really awesome Captain America mask, and so much more. Looking forward to seeing what I can do with this guy, so let's get rolling. Okay, here's Iron Man Mark 46, straight out of Civil War, and he looks amazing. Any display of an Iron Man armor is only enhanced by the light up feature, so we need to put all of these batteries in, and there are so many. I've never encountered so many batteries with a piece before. Make sure we've got it all done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All doors are off, ready to receive batteries. I'm intentionally leaving all the plates off of his armor while I'm in the middle of doing the pose. The reason for that is that you have to turn on every single one of these things individually. I don't want to have to mess with taking the plates off and hitting every switch and then putting the plates back on again. There's a chance that I'll have to ruin the pose and have to adjust it again. I'm going to be having him flying, straight up. He's going to be in a flight pose, so I'm going to put this dynamic stand. There's a clamp that has to go on here. Make that nice and snug. Before I put this figure onto the flight stand, one of the things that I want to do is make sure that certain elements are already on the armor. First and foremost, he's going to be using these flight stabilizers. The other thing I'm going to swap out here is this forearm piece, because I want him to be prepping to fire a rocket. So there's his rocket, exposed, ready to go. The final thing we're going to want to add is the repulsor blasts coming out of the boots. All the accessories that I'm using are now on the Iron Man Mark 46, and he's ready to be posed. Starting with just this basic neutral pose, I'm going to start tweaking it until I get something a bit more dynamic. In order to start, I want to lengthen this torso by pulling down and just give him a bit of an ab crunch. Just like that. I'm going to want this leg to be out a little bit more. So I'm going to pull it down That'll give me a little bit more clearance. It's designed to do that. So don't freak out. Move this guy back. Because if you've seen the Iron Man movies, and I'm assuming you have, this is a flight stabilizer. The impression I'm trying to give is that he's just finished braking, he's stabilizing, and he's going to be bringing this arm to bear as a rocket launcher. I'm able to use these rocket blasts as a means of leverage to prevent the figure from falling back. I think that's a little bit unattractive on this side, so I want to kind of move this one back. See, and that one's angled backwards because it's pushing him forward so that these don't flip him over backwards. Just kind of think about physics, the physics of the thing. If he didn't have this jet pushing this upper torso up and maintaining its stability, these jets are so powerful they would legitimately cause him to do a backflip, just like they did. They already illustrated this. There's precedent to it. It happened in the first Iron Man movie while he was in his workshop. Keeping in mind that he's trying to ride himself and also thinking about the physics of how this Iron Man armor works. By moving this leg out a little bit, what I've done is I've kind of, yeah, he looks a little bit more off balance, but again, that's, as I said, he's trying to balance himself at this point in the process of firing this rocket. All right, cool. I think I've got a good pose here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the lights. If you only have room on one tiny shelf showcasing this armor, locked, say, in combat with a Captain America figure, it would speak volumes about the contentious relationship between the two characters. Even if your display is populated by multiple armors, this one is sleek and unique enough to stand out in the crowd. Of the many Iron Man variants made available by Hot Toys, this one's a must.